Okay, hi. So today we have as our guest Georgette Jones, and Georgette is a new construction sales person. And I want her to talk to us about how we can get into new construction as new agents, as realtors, what's the do's and don'ts, best practices, and things like that. So without any further ado, Georgette, take it away.
Thank you so much for inviting me to speak to you all today. My name is Georgette Jones, and I was a realtor for almost 5 years, and I did have the opportunity to work at EXP. And
Woo!
I
That's where
put
that's where we met.
absolutely. And I made the transition from EXP to going to work for a builder while I was running ads. And there were several builder reps that had reached out, and I ended up talking to quite a few of them. So I did have the opportunity to go and interview with like D.R. Horton, Impression Homes, things like that. And my home currently is with Legend Homes, and I'm located in DeSoto, Texas, at Parkerville Meadows. And the biggest thing I can say is, when on the realtor side of it, is one, always make an appointment. Never just stop by the community, because what happens is now you've almost devalued the person's time, the salesperson. Mm-hmm. And what I normally do is it's a hit or miss. Some salespeople, they don't mind if a realtor comes and they like are previewing homes and they don't have a client, but some sales counselors do. So what I always suggest is just say, you know what, I just wanted to come and preview for an out-of-town client. That's it. Come and preview the home, see what they have to offer, see the incentive. Always ask about the commission. We do still give 3% plus bonus on the second home. But all builders, that's not all builders' case. They do their business strategy different. So definitely ask about those things up front. And then I also do the negotiating when the buyer is not there. So then when it's brought to them, it's already done. The back and forth is done. So it makes the process of working with the builder just a little bit more smooth, because the main focus, as far as from a sales rep's perspective, is to have a great buyer's experience, because we are actually graded on the surveys that are sent out. And so the buyer gets quite a few surveys during that process. So, in terms of just getting new construction business, I feel like it would be the same. For myself, my marketing focuses on realtors. So that's who I market to, as realtors. But when you're looking for buyers, it's as easy. If you have a lower budget, then I would start definitely with Facebook Marketplace. Even from a sales rep point of view, I've picked up a lot of people from just putting homes in the Facebook Marketplace and didn't spend any money. But then on the flip side, I've also done ads, and ads are a little bit, sometimes they're a little bit hit or miss. Sometimes what you're offering it needs to be, partnered with the builder in terms of what are their builder's incentives. And so we offer $10,000 in closing costs. For some, that could be enough. For others, that's not enough. That's not going to work. So I think you just have to create a package that is geared toward what you're willing to offer, so you won't have buyers trying to take half of your commission. And because I've seen that too. I have some contracts where the realtor is giving them back half of their commission. And it's one of those things you don't want to kind of get that started, because when they refer you, that's what they're going to lead with. Georgia gave this, Vonda gave this, half the commission, all that. You don't want to be known as that, because that's where those referrals are going to come from. They're going to want the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. And then in terms of just leading with value, I still stand by that. I still lead with value with everything that I do, and being able to potentially do first-time home buyers with the sales reps. So when you go and you're meeting these sales reps after you've made the appointment, it really does come down to if they're realtor friendly. So the company might be realtor friendly, but the sales rep might not be. So that's what you're going to be. So now that you know, your farm area that you work in, you know, all the new construction communities that are in there, and you're going and you're scheduling these appointments with the sales reps, if they give you a vibe that they don't want to be bothered, move on to the next one. It's not going to automatically change. So you're looking for sales reps that actually want to work with you. And that's what you're going in there promoting. I do currently have, you know, some out of town clients, but do you do marketing with realtors? Do you host events with realtors? Do you run ads with realtors? Like, are you looking for, you know, a partnership with a realtor? Not even with listings, because most builders, we can't let our homes be listed with a realtor because we have an in-house broker. So they take care of all of those things, because on this side of it, the buyer is the builder's client. So that's something to keep in mind. So when we're doing any kind of marketing, we can partner with realtors, but we're not able to, we can use our name and things like that, but we cannot use the name of the builder. And that's pretty much most builders, because the name is trademarked, but you can use the community name. So I would suggest that if you're doing any kind of advertising, you just stick to the area and don't use the community name. So they'll have to call you to see where that community is at. So
that's what you would put on Marketplace?
Absolutely. So on Marketplace, I might say something like, are you looking for new construction with up to $10,000 in closing costs in DeSoto, Texas? Call me today and let's talk about how you can get in this 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-story in the mid 300s or the mid 350s or something like that. And it's vague enough to where they could potentially find it online, but then it's still, a lot of people don't want to do that kind of work. So when I'm doing that, I'll sweeten it with certain things when, you know, the builder's not offering. So with Legends, we don't offer a refrigerator and we don't offer a garage door opener. So if you were going to say you might give $500 toward a refrigerator, or you might give them a garage door opener valued up to $250. So now you've covered all the pain points that they could have in moving in. And so that's why you do have to research the builders in your farm area. So any realtor, and I did a class the other week about the top 5 things that made me the most money in real estate. And one of them was having a farm area, because the farm area will minimize where you're marketing at, and it'll give you more centralized efforts when it comes to marketing. And that's the same thing with new construction. So in the area that I'm in, the farm area, because I do farm other builders to know what they're doing, I have D.R. Horton, Bloomfield, K. Hovnanian. They're all over there. Sandlin Homes, First Texas. Those are our big 5, not to mention the small mom and pops, but we're in direct competition with them. And I'll go and look at their community and even sometimes sit down with their reps. And it's the same thing with us. We got to go out there and actually meet people in person. So once you kind of decide, you know, these are the builders that are in my farm area, this is what they don't have, then you create a package offering those things. It doesn't have to be 100% you're buying people refrigerators, but it can be a contribution toward. So that would be the other thing that I would do when it comes to looking for people, filling in the blank. And when I was transitioning from being a realtor to working for the builder, what I was doing was then I started marketing only one builder. And originally it was D.R. Horton. So that's how I know D.R. Horton has a West and an East division, and it stops, looking at the 35 corridor and those kind of things. So I learned everything that I can learn about D.R. Horton. It was a lot, because that is one of the biggest home builders here, pretty much anywhere, but definitely here in the Metroplex. So there's a lot of opportunity if you're going to market D.R. Horton. But then there's History Maker, and there's some other, there are large builders here in the Metroplex, but they're not all over. So I would say that if you can narrow down one builder and just market their communities, that's it. That is your main, you're specializing, you know everything about them. You know their all their builder reps, their builder rep knows you. If somebody comes in looking for a realtor, they're referring you, that's what you're looking to partner on. So that's how you're dwindling down your new construction farm area to just one builder. And it gives you, I feel like it makes your ad dollars work better for you, because now you're not just randomly promoting new construction. People will start to associate you with working for Legend Homes, and then the line becomes kind of blurred. And so that's what ended up happening. When I made the commitment that I wanted to work for a builder rep, and I switched from DR Horton to Legends, and then I went ahead and I literally just started stalking Legends. And I was going to their communities, and I did sell in some of their communities, but also I rented some of their homes as well. And then I was just going to their communities, meeting their builder reps. And then they were like, you know what, you'd be such a great fit. So that's how I made that transition, because I started to specialize in all things Legends. And then when I made that transition to not be a realtor early March this year, when I actually started working for Legends, it was an easier transition because the floor plans I already knew the product and those kind of things. So that's the other part. If you wanted to transition from being a realtor to work for a builder rep, that would be the fastest way to do it. But then that's also in the same vein how you would be able to market, to bring in more buyers when that line becomes blurred, because they don't know to call you or the builder rep. But you're online more, because as a builder rep, I'm online some because I have a virtual assistant. So they post a lot of things. But if it would just be by myself, I just don't have time for that, because I still have to get these people through the 6 to 9 months worth of a build and be able to manage expectations. That is my full-time job, is managing buyers' expectations. So yeah, any questions so far? I know that was a lot of information.
I have a question. You mentioned it's 6 to 9 months now to build.
It is with us. It is. I have a few clients that we got under contract in October, and we were supposed to break ground at the end of October, and that's moved to January. Mm-hmm. And I think that the biggest thing about doing new construction is understanding that those times are so fluid that you have to prepare your client, especially if they're renting or living with family, moving out of town, that those dates move. And I always tell them to go ahead and look at your lease to make sure you can go month to month or do a reletting fee or something like that, and prepare them for that. And so that's what I mean by my main job, is just managing those expectations. I never want people to be left feeling like, oh my goodness, I didn't know, she's going to leave me homeless because our house isn't ready.
Mm-hmm. I have a client last month. They ended up staying at a hotel for a month because their apartment wouldn't let them renew a month to month. So they had to move out, and they end up getting in their new construction home 6 weeks after it was supposed to be ready.
Yeah. That's a hard conversation to have with somebody. So as the dates continue to move, then I continue to tell them they have to adjust, work with me. The way that I work, I do update once a month until we actually break ground. And then I do update every single week until we actually close. And that's every Friday before 5 p.m. And I already let them know that. So they're prepared for the fact that, this is where we're going. I'm going to walk you through the 10 stages of new construction. Now, the other thing I'm doing now is it's called, I named it this Construction Academy, and it's the 10 stages of new construction in video form. So every time we move into a new stage, I'll send them the link, and it's on YouTube in just a private, you have to have the link only to look at it. And then so all the families are already prepared for the journey we're going to be on. And I think in letting them know things in advance, it makes the process less anxiety filled. A lot of people are very anxious because it does take so long. And is the house going to look like what we expected? What if it's not? What if something goes wrong? Who teaches me how to take care of this home? And so that's what I do in partnership with the builder, because there is the builder walkthrough. So once they do that initial walkthrough and they're going around, taping things that aren't, 100%, then they go ahead and get that fixed. And then that final walkthrough, they'll go ahead and walk them through and actually teach them how to use, the AC, how to change the filter, when to walk around your home and look at it and all those kind of things just to take care of your home. And so we want them to be successful homeowners and we want them to enjoy their home, but it's hard to enjoy something if you don't understand how to take care of it.
Right.
So, yeah.
So what are some expectations from a realtor's point of view that would make us valuable to you and to the client as, getting a new construction home?
The biggest thing I think that I found with realtors and is twofold. When I was on the realtor side of things, I already had a new construction certification. But I also had taken a lot of classes about new construction. So the process I understood. So when I'm going in there, I didn't act like I knew everything about their homes because I didn't. I don't know more about Legend Homes than the sales reps because I didn't work on that side. So what I find is as a realtor, I think more going into it in a support role and just supporting the sales rep. Because at the end of the day, if they already trust their realtor, but some of them don't, but they end up trusting me. So I think in having a great relationship with your client and then also being able to convey the information, Georgette's going to lead you through and supporting the sales rep, then we both can get paid. But if we're not on the same page, or if they don't trust me, or if they don't trust their realtor, if the trust is not there, then it makes for a very difficult journey because then they're second guessing everything. So that's what I would say. When you're bringing clients in, just come from a standpoint of, let's see what they're offering. Let's see if it's a good fit for you. And if not, let's go somewhere else.
So why they wouldn't trust their realtor?
You know what? I have people under contract right now. I think because the journey to get to me has been long. I'm normally not the first stop. They normally have been through some things with the realtor by the time they've come in, or if they've never met them. I do have people who've come in. This is the first time they're meeting their realtor is with me. And I think they're in the realtor not asking questions. I think their expectations of the realtor are higher than maybe they should be because they just don't know. So I think the trust just hasn't been built yet. And then also I think since I'm coming from being a buyer's agent, I've never been a listing agent, I was a buyer's agent, also lead from a standpoint of education. And I want you to be an educated buyer. And I say that because I do believe in home ownership. So when I'm giving them all this information that they didn't know, and they're like, oh, my realtor's never told me that. Then they're second guessing the realtor. Like, why didn't she tell me that? Why didn't I know that? How much is the earnest money? So the realtor's not really telling them anything. They're just like, let's stop by here and see. Okay. So being able to call first and ask those questions and say, how much is the earnest money? What's the bill time? So now the client is not surprised. Now they're like, okay, my realtor did tell me that. So that's how you build trust from a realtor standpoint.
So I have a client under contract now for a new construction home, but I've never met her. Mm-hmm. She found me on Google and said she wanted me to be a realtor. She found the home and, bam, here we go. So they haven't broke ground on her home, but how can I be, I guess, more of a supportive for her and be valuable for her?
And there are people that'll find you on the internet like that. And what I say is, that just check on it every couple of weeks. You know what? I was touching base with you to see if you needed anything, if you have any questions. Same thing with the sales counselor. A lot of sales counselors don't update as much as I do, but I think you can always touch base. If it's close enough to your home, I would definitely drive by and check on it. But if it's not, I would reach out to the sales rep, ask them, can they take a picture and send it to you? Mm-hmm. And I definitely would update every couple of weeks. I think the thing is about new construction on certain levels, some buyers expect the realtor to update often and then some don't. So I think when you are getting clients, just already have an update schedule and say, you know what, I'll update you once a month or as information becomes available. So now it feels like you are showing that you have more control over the situation versus just kind of willy-nilly, you're not saying anything. And then when something happens, you kind of just popping up random like, versus I'm gonna update you today. The next time I'm gonna update you will be on the 10th. So that's what I do with my clients. When I'm doing, and I have BombBomb, I swear by BombBomb, I'm gonna talk about that next, but my clients that I updated in November, I already told them I'm gonna update them on December 10th. So they know December 10th, I'm gonna send a video update. And that's how I end my BombBomb updates is I'm gonna update you on the next day. So I use BombBomb because it also builds trust when they can see your face in video versus if you are just sending a text message. Because you can convey the excitement, even if your face is not on video and you're just doing a voiceover, or if you're just, and normally what I do is I'll show the home and just talk from behind the screen, but I'm always so excited. Mm-hmm. And there's problems. I don't care if what's going on with the house is never a problem. Never. I'm always excited. It's never, oh my God, one of the windows got broke out and we got to replace it. No, not a problem. So even when I'm conveying bad news, I'm still excited. Yeah, it's never bad.
Tell us about BombBomb. I don't think everybody knows what BombBomb is. And I don't use BombBomb, so maybe I need to start using BombBomb.
Yes. Well, BombBomb, I absolutely love it. BombBomb is a video platform that tracks the metrics of you sending the video. So I know that in my database, I have roughly about 2,500 realtors, and I will shoot a BombBomb video about a home or, inviting them somewhere, and I'll go ahead and send it out. And it is just a way to convey information in a more personable way. And so BombBomb, they actually do like training videos, and they'll actually say, like, one of the things they do is when you start a video, write the person's name on a card and then have it showing, and they're showing like this, and then you start talking. So that's a way to get their attention. Hey, Vonda. And that's what it says. And you kind of shaking the paper like this. It's like, what is she doing? And so you go ahead and press play. For the most part, most people, and you can send it via text or email. So I normally send mine in a lot of emails, and because you can play it right on your phone, and it's more personable. I think, if I'm not mistaken, our company provides it to us, but I want to say their most affordable plan is $29.99, and the open rate is like 90%. Oh, wow. So it's a higher rate than email. My email rate is actually pretty good. So I get a higher conversion with me using BombBomb, sending my updates, also my follow-up. So every time I have an appointment, when I book an appointment or an online team books an appointment, I always send a video. I send a video telling them about the appointment, introducing myself. But then when they leave, I send another video thanking them for coming by. So a lot of videos being sent out. And
video is the thing.
It is. And I think that's why my conversion rate is pretty high. On average, if 5 people walk in, I normally write a contract on at least 3 of them.
Wow.
So yeah, conversion rate very high.
And go ahead and tell them, you were telling me this before we started recording, that you've already met your quota for the month of December, and it's only December 12th.
It is. So I met.
Oh, it's the 8th. Today is the 8th.
Well, I met quota on December 3rd. And then for January, I already have people lined up. And so what I normally do is I'll go ahead and hold the home for them until next month. And then I'll call them back. For the most part, most of them will go ahead and write in January, already have their pre-approval letter. If they have a pre-approval letter and they want to switch to our lender, it gives them time to do that. And then they'll come out and normally see some of the homes we have under construction for a second time. And we'll kind of solidify the fact they want this lot over that lot, those kind of things. So we'll finalize those things, and I'll put a little pin on my little plat map that I have in the office, and then we'll just hold it for them. But yeah, so the 3 for January, they're already done. I do work on holidays. It's not a holiday that I don't work. Christmas was the not Christmas, Thanksgiving was the exception, because then I'd already met my quota for November. But if the quota is not met, like January 1st, for most people, is considered a holiday. But that's the first day that I'd be able to write contracts. I work on January 1st.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when buyers are ready to see homes, and I haven't met the quota, I go to work. I'm not off. My off days are normally Tuesday, Wednesday, but if the quota is not met, I go to work. So I think that's pretty much most new home salespeople.
Okay.
So yeah.
Any other questions? Have any questions right now?
I do. I actually have a couple. So we actually, when we moved to Texas, bought a new construction home. However, it was a spec home. So we didn't go through the process of building and whatnot. So I guess my question is, I know you can't, because it takes 6 to 9 months to build. When do you start the mortgage process? Because, because it's 6 to 9 months, you can't lock in a rate for that long.
Mm-hmm. So pretty much with us, we can put people under contract at 580, but I can't put anybody under contract without a pre-approval. So, yeah. And so is that what you mean as far as like?
No, I just remember when we did look at building before we bought the spec home, it was just kind of like you won't know your rate until about 6 weeks before your home is completed. And it's kind of like, well, what if you push out the date, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so now with us, we can lock the rate in 60 days.
60 days, okay.
Days. Mm-hmm. And then now this is what I tell people along the way. 6 to 9 months is a long time. Yeah. We did have to fall out of escrow because they, I'm not for sure what they purchased, but it did drop their score 40 points. So on the realtor side, I definitely, when you're doing those monthly updates or bi-monthly updates, is reminding them not to buy anything, reminding them don't get new credit, continuing to do that, because it is nothing sadder than if they fall out of escrow because they lose their earnest money.
Okay. And then my second question is, I hear about if you're going to go buy new construction, bring an agent with you that can get you more stuff. What is more stuff?
Nothing. I'll be honest with you. There's some builders out there that'll say that, and they'll say, well, if you don't use a realtor, then we'll give you a discount. And some builders do. But the builders that do that, you or your client don't want to work with them. Because if they're trying to offer a better deal not using a realtor, that seems like their integrity and their character is kind of iffy. When it comes to most builders, they'll require that first visit the realtor to come. I don't require that personally. If you call me and say, this is my buyer and they're coming out, I'll link the two of you together. But can you negotiate? Some things that we've done is we'll negotiate how much earnest money you pay. You can always do that. If they're a track home builder like us, sometimes you can negotiate getting like a washer and dryer or a refrigerator.
So I guess that's what I mean. Those things. I just wanted to find out what is acceptable to ask for.
Anything. You can ask for anything. There's honestly is no limit on what you can ask for. But things that you can ask for, like most builders don't include the refrigerator. Right. They don't include and dryer. A lot of them don't include sprinkler systems, landscaping, blinds. D.R. Horton, when they do blinds, they only do the front. So you can negotiate them doing the whole home, things like that. So everything's negotiable, just like if it was a pre-existing home. Okay. And so at the beginning, I don't know if you were on yet, but you're negotiating when the buyer is not there.
Right. I heard that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things, you're asking for everything in the kitchen sink. What can you give them? Can you give them, a washer and dryer set? Can you give them full blinds if it's not included? Can you give them the sprinkler system if it's not included? What about landscaping? I know you got to give 2 trees and 4 bushes, but can they get flowers? What can they get? And so you're asking for everything.
No, that's good, because that actually, with them not knowing that, it makes me look pretty, right? It's like, hey, you got a free fridge.
Yeah.
So That's what I mean. It's like, you know, because that shows them the benefit of having a realtor represent them.
Yep. And it's now the thing is, you want to keep in mind that in you negotiating and getting all these things, nobody's going to know but the buyer. Okay. And the sales rep. But where you're going to need to, you know, piggyback off of that is when it comes time for closing, you need to get on video, a video testimonial. I know that people can write out the testimonial, but video is powerful. Get a video testimonial the day of closing, because that's the only time they're going to be the happiest. After that, when the new construction starts to settle and there's cracks and all this other kinds of stuff, that's when it goes left. So
I remember those days.
Absolutely. So you go ahead and you get the video testimonial at closing. You've already been talking about it for months. Oh my God, I can't wait to get you guys on video the day of closing. Get them on video, and then that's where you're running ads on Facebook. That's where you're spending your marketing dollars at. And so you only ask them one question. So two things about video. One, I always cringe when I see realtors in the video of their testimonial, because that never seems genuine. Nobody can trust that the realtor did a good job if you're in the video. Everybody's second guessing, like, was she really that good, or are they just being nice? So what I do is off camera, I will ask them, how was your experience with Georgette? Don't ask them about their build experience, because that's normally a little bit rocky. How was your experience with Georgette? And then you start recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess, let me see. No, you've pretty much answered that. Yeah, I guess so. I have buyers out of town, which they've actually lived here before. They've just been out of town for 2 years. And they're coming, and it's kind of between a very established, you know, things in a new home that would be included and things like that, versus, you know, having an older home that will need repair, etc.
And I think when you're trying to sell people on new construction, because normally the home is smaller. Normally the home for the same, the home is normally smaller. And what you're selling them on is the fact that everything's brand new and you be the first. So I think that's the biggest thing is you're selling them on, is that it is brand new. And so since they're not here, that's a good thing. I tell realtors when the client is not here, the great thing is they're not here. So then you do have an opportunity to go, you have an opportunity to video, you have an opportunity to go back and forth a little bit with the salesperson. You know what, can you ask your manager, and lead with that? Because so when you're talking to the sales rep and you want like a washer and dryer, then you lead with, you know what, can you ask your manager, can they get a washer and dryer included? Because we don't get to have final say on that. We can't make that decision. We're only conveying information. So that's why it's like, you know what, I feel like that's a little bit of a deal breaker, and throw that in there too. A little bit of a deal breaker. They want the house, they're moving from out of town, but they really need the washer and dryer included.
Okay.
Yeah.
My last question is, me being a completely new sales rep, is I wanted to kind of go into new builds and maybe do like short videos to post on my Instagram and stuff like that. Is this something that I can just walk in and do, or do you would you say to make an appointment?
Definitely make an appointment, because the is you need to build the relationship. Even if you don't want to go work for a builder and you want to continue to be on the real estate side, you're still working in your farm area. So those sales reps, you're going to cross paths with them again. So you definitely want to make an appointment. Let them know I'm working with and everything when you talk to sales reps is about the team. Even if it's just you, it's about the team. So you say, you know what, I'm working with my marketing team and I need to shoot a little bit of video. Would I be able to stop by there on Thursday and shoot a video of your community and your model home?
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Great information. Thank you, Georgette.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Sorry, these were things on my list that I was going to email Vonda about. So there you go.
I got the expert here.
He praised you.
You're welcome. Everything's about the team when you're talking to people, because now you've elevated your status. And normally I say that I'm a real estate consultant. I don't even say a realtor. I'm consulting for my client that wants to build And so I wanted to reach out to you to see what homes you have available and if I can stop by and look at them.
Awesome. So Georgette, if we have anyone up in Denton or Dallas that needs construction, how can we reach you?
So my number, the easiest way to call text is 817-298-9619.
All right, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Any other questions from anybody?
I guess not. I'm recording this, so I'll send it out to the rest of my mentees. Ahmad, you just took yourself off. You had a question?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry for joining late. I'm working also, so I'm trying to like manage working and listening in. But great information. I'm a new agent as well. I started back in I think May, and so just trying to absorb as much as I can and build my business.
Absolutely. Well, definitely welcome to real estate, both of you. I think the thing that kind of my niche with new construction came when that was my first client. My first close was a new construction, and it came just from shooting videos. So if you don't have a marketing strategy, the one thing I would suggest is just shoot videos of anything in your farm area. Definitely first thing is choose a farm area. And then second thing is go shoot video of the homes in that farm area. That's it. So those are the two things that I wish I would have done when I first started.
We'll be doing that, and all three of us are in Katy, but Katy is a big city, so.
Absolutely.
I won't be stepping on any toes.
No, there's so many builders out here. We're a suburb of Houston, but there's so many builders out here, so we'll do good.
Okay.
We can go together sometime too.
Oh yes, I'd love that actually.
Okay, we'll make an appointment and go together.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, well, our time is
Absolutely.
about up. I know you, I want to keep you, you have valuable things to do. So I appreciate everyone for joining, and thank you again, Georgette.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you
welcome.
so much.
You're very
Thank you,
welcome.
Georgette.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Vanda.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.